This video is all about helping you captive insurance agencies really have some transparency on maybe where you're at and where you can go in this industry. And I used to be a captive insurance agent myself, so I really have a heart in bringing you this content so that you can really have an understanding of where you can go in your career, where this amazing insurance license can take you, and I hope you enjoy this video. So my name's Jason. I'm your friend in the business, and I'm so blessed to run a national organization here where I recruit and partner with powerful agents that used to be captive as well as independent agents selling here life, Medicare, and annuities face to face, but more importantly in the telespace. So free resources for your taking at jasonfinalexpense.com. And I appreciate you taking the time to join with us in this content for things that they're not going to want you to know about. So if you're a captive insurance agent, number one, you need to own your business. Right now, maybe you were sold a business or a pipe dream that you're building the business for yourself. Well, if there's a vesting schedule of 5, 10, or 15 years, you're building the business, I'm sorry to break it to you, for somebody else. This is so important for you to grasp. Most captive insurance agencies, not all by the way, will have a vesting schedule. That just means they own the business. Everything you're doing, all your hard work, all of your downlines, everything you're doing right now, those dollars you're creating are in essence for somebody else because they own it. They are vested, you are not, until you've been there for 10 or 15 years and they know you're probably not going to make it that long. So vesting schedule is something to be very transparent with yourself about, going, I need some transparency on what does this really look like. A 15-year vesting schedule is a long marriage where maybe you're not making as much money as you could if you were independent. So vesting schedule, please pay attention to that if you're a captive insurance agent, because they want to keep you in a place where maybe tip number 2 comes into play. You're making diminished compensation. Tip number 2, if you're a captive agent, is all about compensation. Are you in an organization where it's management strong, it's management heavy, and that's the only way you can really move up? They want you to move into the management program if you want to get paid more. Or maybe the appointments are so horrible at the organization that you're with that they really need you to train other people because you can't even book a full week. This is what happens to a lot of captive agents. They get shined into that MLM culture, recruit, 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 move yourself into management, and that's the only way you're going to make money. You need to be in a position where you can become a top performer. Performers get paid, and we get paid very well in this business. I'm a $1 million round table producer, as well as are many other agents that partner here at jasonfinalexpense.com. Crazy proud of them, but that's a high level of production. So if you're in an organization where maybe they're pushing the management model instead of pushing you to become the best that you can be, that is something that you've got to really consider here, because if you're not making stacks, how are you going to help someone else find success? Success breeds success, and a lot of organizations that are captive, you're brand new and they want to move you into management, because that's how the organization makes their money. You don't even own what you're building right now. You're building a business, and it's not for you. It's for the company and it's for the corporation. So compensation is big, but you got to look at, are you getting paid for final expense life insurance 40%, 50%, 60%? You are leaving so much on the table here because the company is taking the majority of your commission dollars. You could be an independent agent that's brand new, making 100% compensation on the annual premium that you're writing. That's such a drastic difference. That means real dollars in real cents to you in insurance sales. So compensation is big. Make sure that they're not pushing you into the management model. It's all about your money, your hard work, and that is critical to you making a way here because you're doing the heavy lifting. Why are you going to leave so much commission on the table in your captive agency to pay your managers, the layers of the onion that are above you? This brings a lot of agents down in an industry that you could find massive, massive levels of higher compensation because you should care about everything in your business. And sometimes certain captive agencies and even independent agencies will really hold you down into the 40s, 50s, or 60% compensation models. They win you don't win quite as much. Let's just put it that way. That's a nice way of saying it, right? So compensation is huge. And if you're in a captive insurance agency, you're doing the good work, wouldn't you want to get paid so much more, sometimes 100% or more commission to do the same work? Dear goodness, you're working all year, where if you were an independent agent making 100% more commission, you could work for 6 months and make the same stacks without having the headache of having to train people or stepping into a managerial role to have your money move forwards. This is just something to ponder. All right, compensation's big. We've got so many top performing agents as well as agencies that align here because we've got crazy contracts to be able to share and give to top producing agents. It's important. The greater we can make you, the greater we make us. It's a good handshake, and sometimes captive organizations, let's just face it, they don't even have the ability to get above a 40 or 50% compensation to you, and you're stuck. And then back to tip number 1, you found out you weren't even invested. You were invested in your business, but you didn't invest and own your business until you've realized it a little too little and maybe too late. So number 3, if you're taking notes, is in captive organizations, they have to kind of keep the door shut. They have to keep you in this Kool-Aid kind of drinking rah-rah, where maybe you're not getting the reality. If you talk to an independent insurance agent, they're like, oh, don't talk to them. They're not as good as us. They don't understand what we do here at XYZ, captive agency, wink, wink. They want you into a place that you don't understand what their opportunity is, because if you knew how good other places were, you would not maybe be where you're at now. They're not bad, but is there better opportunities for you? Or maybe there's better opportunities for you to help your client win. When you've got one option, one is none. If it's one tiny family of companies, you want to be able to shop so that your client sees value in what you will bring for them. If you're an annuity agent, wouldn't you rather bring them a bonus of maybe 16 or 18% in the first year? Maybe your captive organization doesn't have more than a 5 or a 6% bonus. This is such a huge difference in your ability to bring value and solve problems. And you're going to be paid according to the problems you can solve. And it's so much easier to sell when you've got the best annuity carriers in the industry at your fingertips. Taking care of your clients is everything. Maybe you're a life insurance agent. Wouldn't you rather have many options from the best A-rated carriers out there so that you can shop for the consumer's best interest? Compensation, of course, important, but the Kool-Aid drinking is real. Captive insurance agencies, I've heard it so many times from agents that are captive, and they talk to organizations that aren't the one organization that they're with, and they're like, no, you can't talk to that person, or I heard you were talking to XYZ organization. What's that about? Come into the office. Let's shut the door. It's because they don't want you to see the opportunity for what it is. Culture doesn't pay your bills, my friends, but hard work and capitalization sure can. They want to sometimes put you into meetings. Meetings, when you're an agent, are optional unless it's compliance-based. If you're not a W-2, they can't even tell you what to do legally, but so many organizations are like, you will be here Monday and Thursday, or you're going to be here Tuesday and Wednesday, or Saturday and Friday, whatever days they make up, and they want you to be there. And if you don't show up, maybe they're going to pull something like your leads. And maybe your leads that you have aren't great anyway. You're not getting new leads, fresh leads, where you're going to find the easiest path to success, even though the business is not easy. A lot of captive agents don't get the best of leads because maybe it's the MLM model. It's management strong, agents on the bottom. And maybe you're seeing agents leave the business. Maybe agents are evaporating, but management stays strong. Maybe that's you. I've seen this happen as well in a lot of differing organizations. I talked to so many insurance agents nationally, and I've heard some horror stories about what has happened to agents that have been with an organization for many years, and then all of a sudden their stuff goes in a cardboard box and you never see them again. They evaporate out of the herd, and you're like, why are there no top producers here long term? That's something to go, in that structure, that model. And it's because maybe they're in a position where, if you've heard the term, a lot of organizations, because you're not vested as an insurance agent, when they leave, when they let go that veteran agent, they take the renewals, they take the Medicare business, they take the life insurance renewal business and don't pay it to the agent, which means it's going somewhere. And guess what? it's not the agent that left. So you've got to look out for the Kool-Aid. Look out for the rah-rah. If everything's poo-poo and only your one company is the best, I'm not saying you're not the best on some things, but you may not be once you kind of open your eyes and see what's out there. It's like living in a small town. That's great, all right? I grew up in a very small town. But when you get out and see what the ocean looks like and you get out to see some other areas, you may like it. You may like spreading your wings and finding that you've got more wealth and more wealth potential by opening up your opportunity to bring value to your consumers, because you've got maybe, as an independent agent, better prices for the same product that you were selling before. A lot more commissions for sure compared to most captive organizations. But if it's all about the meetings and the culture, my friends, the culture doesn't pay your bills. Hard work and commission will do that for you. Now, tip number 4, if you're hanging with me so far, I hope you like the content and are a subscriber. Thank you to those of you that enjoy the content. I try to be very blunt with you, but Kool-Aid's real. Number 4, leads. Captive organizations want to control you and leverage you by what they allow you to work. Maybe you don't get the best of leads. You're given a T65 list, you're given a door knock list, you're given data, not exclusive real leads. Well, let me share with you, coming up very soon, you have to have single consent on leads. If your agency isn't talking about this, your captive agency, that's a cause for alarm here. You've got to be prepared to have a more higher intent lead, and it's got to have a single consent, meaning it's Jason on that lead. This is powerful for you. You need to know this. Knowledge is power, right? You want to get paid, have a better lead. And a lot of leads in captive organizations are shared, like the Village Bicycle. They're aged, they're super old, which means you're working very hard. And I respect that of you. That's why captive insurance agents can capitalize in such powerful ways, because you are doing hard work, and you're not even having the same take-home pay that you could in an independent environment. You don't even have the options that are much easier with guaranteed issue policies, with just phenomenal opportunities in the independent and private world. But leads are everything. If you're working in an organization that maybe won't give you leads if you don't show up to a meeting, or if you don't step into the management crew, you realize, uh-oh, my leads just went away. Where'd they go? It's all about control, my friends. They're controlling maybe what you do instead of you grabbing the steering wheel of success and going, you know what? I'll take this opportunity and control my leads so that I can control what the outcome looks like, because I know what to input, and that's work ethic, some leads, and a whole lot of belief. You can make so more bucks in most cases. You can make so much more when you're getting 100% or more commission. And if you'd like to know what the true independent opportunity is, it's not unicorns and rainbows. It looks like the same hard work, but it sure is easier when you've got the world at your disposal and you've got amazing insurance carriers that care about you as an insurance agent, but also to have an organization that will mentor you, strengthen you, and be a partner in your success. If we can serve in any way, jasonfinalexpense.com, but your captive insurance agency probably doesn't want you to see this video. I appreciate everything you're doing. If we can do anything for you, we sure will. And remember, you've got what it takes.